right now. Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, I'm going live on 3 different platforms right now. I'm just congratulating myself, okay? Because your girl is not the best techie, okay? Let's be real. So, yes, ma'am, all 3. Thank you very much. Round of applause for myself. I got a little help. Okay, so here's how you can do it on all 3. Fellow entrepreneurs, influencers, little tip. I used this service called StreamYard, which allows me to go live on multiple platforms. Now, in order to do that, you do have to pay a small monthly fee. I'm just trying it out for 1 month to see how much I actually utilize it and see if it makes sense for my business. And then I'll pay for the annual. But bonus tip, because your girl is not, I am not the most technologically advanced person. So like for sure, it was stressing me out. I'm like, how am I going to go live on all these different platforms without taking up too much time, right? Because I have other work to do, like coach. So this is very exciting for me. Okay, anyways, good morning. Hello. Thank you for coming. Hey, Miss Nicolette. So good to see you, girl. Hey, Jennifer. Good morning. All right. I'm super excited to be here with you guys today. Not only because I'm live on all 3 platforms, but just because this topic really speaks to me. And I know that it speaks to a lot of other women that are going through a very intense transitional period in their journey. We all get to a point in this journey that some of it is about it's okay. I do that too sometimes, and then I forget, like nobody's actually gonna see you, Desiree, but you guys see me, so that's cool at least. But a lot of women that I speak to, like in the DMs and comments and stuff, just people that I network with, right? There's a theme right now of what it takes to get to the next step of the journey. So a lot of us understand that there's benefit to the physical health and fitness, right? Like we know that if we can master that part of ourselves, then we have the ability to start looking at other things and mastering other things. However, making that transition in your mind, like how do you go? Literally somebody asked me last week and I was like, well, I haven't even thought about this for myself yet. But how do you go from a fitness fanatic to spiritual savage, basically? And when she asked me that, I was like, first of all, flattered because I was like, wow. And also not a coincidence, but a sign, because I am currently working on something very exciting. And the term spiritual savage has been very prominent for me in the energy of that project. So keep an eye out for that. But anyways, I was like, whoa. I hadn't really thought about it. For me, I've always been, so one of the benefits of being an all or nothing person is that I can take one lesson from one place and apply it to everything quite easily. And what I'm realizing after going through the journey myself and now coaching so many other people is that not everyone can so easily do that. We all have our own hitches on this ride, okay? Nobody gets through this journey seamlessly. Not even the pros, like not even the bikini builder pros, okay? This is not for the faint of heart, learning to not only master your health and body, but also learning when like you have to release control to become the master. We're going to talk about it here in a second. So I'm really excited to just dive into like all the juicy goodness with you guys, because I feel like there's not really a ton of like I could teach you to build affirmations. There's some things I could teach you to do today that would help in building your confidence, that would help in building your body image, that would help in building the mindset. But what I want to do today is actually just give you the mindset shifts that happened. Like I want to tell you exactly what changed for me. I want to give you the body image lessons I had that were just like, whoa, holy shit. I want to give you the confidence. I want to give you the meat so that you can chew on it. And then you can reverse build it, right? You can be like, okay, this is also my goal. So if this is how I want to feel, what am I going to do? How am I going to move that will help me get to that goal? Because it looks different for everyone, but the end goal is the same, right? So you can start reverse building your journey if you just know where you're going. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's start with the big one, because this is one that I've been getting a lot of feedback on lately, and I am also just kind of very aware of where I'm at in my journey. Confidence. Like my confidence is shifting a lot right now. That's come from a lot of work in that area. I have not always been the most confident person, which is funny because I've always been a performer. And so in that aspect, I seem very confident, right? And I've always been able to put on a good front. I'm a good performer, okay? I am a good performer, and I will take credit for that. And I've always been told that my entire life. Girl, your stage presence, that I have this stage presence, and I know how to fake it till I make it. But true confidence, like to really show up here and just be with you guys, that's been scary for me for a while. I think that I've had a lot of different reasons why, but there are lessons I got from the gym that really transferred to my spiritual journey and the development of my self-confidence and self-esteem. This belief I have in myself, my boyfriend, my partner, Tyler, he's always like, you just believe in yourself. He's like, your self-belief is like unshakable. And I was like, wow, thanks, babe. Because not only do I feel that way, but the fact that it translates, right? That means that I've actually learned the lessons that I got from the gym. And the gym is always a safe place to start learning. So one of those confidence lessons was how I approach the bar, and how I approach PRs is how I'm going to approach hard things in life. When you put literal physical weight on your body that is difficult to hold, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be able to dig into a part of your self-belief that's very instinctual, but very aware, that you're very aware of, right? Because this is a lot of weight. And if you're not aware of it, you're going to hurt yourself. So it's important to approach the bar and approach PRs, or using new weight, or doing a new exercise, or doing new things, or implementing new habits, or meditating for a little bit longer every day, or saving more money, all of these things that we want to do. We have to have confidence when approaching the problem. If you come into it already like, oh gosh, this isn't going to work, and I don't know, nothing's ever worked for me, well, then it's not going to work. Okay, period. That's it. It's just not. This also translates to developing some mental toughness and really getting into the masculine energy. I think most women experience this at some point in their life, but I have personally had kind of a unstable relationship with my masculine energy most of my life. masculine energy, for those of you who aren't looking at this from maybe a spiritual perspective, but maybe more like mental, right? If you're not a spiritual person, cool. But masculine energy just means like action taking. What do you do? What do you do every day to work towards the goal? So for me, I've always been, again, all or nothing, right? So I give way too much and then I shut that shit down and I cut it all off. So being in the weight room, specifically training with weights as a woman, has helped me tap into what it feels like to balance my masculine energy, to know how to tap into it when it's time to turn it on and when it's time to turn it down. I don't think that there's ever a time that we should turn either of them off, feminine or masculine, but definitely strength training, like the doing of strength training, will teach you how to balance that, because you have to be a little aggressive and a little mentally tough, again, to get under a bar, to pick up a weight, to use an exercise that is new and that is scary and that you think you might possibly fail at, because nobody likes to fail. And that leads me into my third confidence lesson from the gym, which is that failure leads to success. And so why are we so scared to fail? Because we've been taught growing up, something my best friend and I have been talking about, is do it right the first time, right? Be perfect. Do it right the first time. Be perfect the first time. But how are we supposed to do it right the first time if we've never done it before? And for those of you who are on a fitness journey that you feel like you're always restarting and like hopping back on the wagon, falling off and hopping back on the wagon, this is you. You don't have confidence in your ability to fail. You think that if you fail, you are a failure. And that is just not true. Failure is an illusion, because if you learn something, then you can be successful the next time, more successful the next time. But because you believe that you could be a failure and that could somehow define your self-worth, now you're stuck by your own beliefs. You're limited. These are limiting beliefs, right? You're limited by your own beliefs. You are literally in your own way. So a lot of sticking to a program and sticking to a goal that allows you to reach the next level is having the confidence to just do it. Just do it, even when it's scary, even when it feels alien, even when you just don't want to. Like, God, there's been so many strength training workouts that I've been like, I don't want to. And then I go in there and I have a great day. So sometimes you just have to do it. And that's a lesson in and of itself. Life lesson. All right, next, we've got the body image lessons. Man, this one rocked my world. This one rocked my world when I really sat down to think about it and started writing things out, because I think body image is probably the place that I got stuck the longest. Even though I gained and lost that same 65 pounds, I always had the ability to lose some weight, right? Like I always kind of knew intuitively what to do for myself. However, really leaning into detaching how my body looks from how I love myself and my worth and how I perceive myself and what I see when I see myself. This mirror image, body image relationship that we have, especially as women, and especially as women who have changed bodies in one lifetime, right? Like we've been on one extreme and the other, and those of you who've been pregnant, those of us who have weighed a lot of, been obese and lost it and gained it back, and seeing ourselves at all these different places, right? So the mirror can be kind of a scary, creepy place if you're not careful. But what I love about it is that if you let it, the the gym and the weight room will show you just how much your looks have nothing to do with your body image and with having a healthy relationship with the self-image. So one thing that weight training has taught me to do is take up space, not just with my body, but with my boundaries. So here's the thing. When you start doing things like deadlifts, squats, bench press, these big compound movements, right? They're pretty complicated as well. You're building a skill when you start doing these movements regularly. Especially if you're someone who's interested in getting better at them, right? That means you're practicing them. You're doing different variations of this movement all of the time. You're wanting to get better. So dealing with body image is important, I think, for anyone who's in the gym regularly working out, because you're constantly surrounded by mirrors, like any gym you go to, right? Even at home, you have a mirror because you're looking to check form. But what happens is we start to get obsessed and kind of pick apart the body if we're not careful. Learning how to take up space removes me from being so alert and aware of the mirror. It's very interesting because I'm setting boundaries of my space, right? So like, because I'm also trying to get good at the skill, I'm like, no distractions. So I always set myself up, if I'm deadlifting, for instance, where like maybe I'll have my backpack on this side and then some weights on this side of the platform, because I really am not trying, I am not by any means a bitch at the gym, okay? Excuse my language. Oh no, I might get banned. But I'm not. But I need my space because I need to focus, because lifting 225 pounds off the floor 6 times is not lightweight, okay? That's not light work. Like, come on. Sometimes my body weighs a lot and I only weigh 150. So, yeah. Take up space. Taking up space has taught me how to set emotional boundaries, taught me how to set relationship boundaries, taught me how to set, oh, my stomach's growling, need to eat breakfast soon. Taught me how to set work boundaries. Like, it's been a trickle effect. And that has made room and space in my life and in my everyday, in my day-to-day life. This is the key, that I can now start looking at the spiritual stuff that I want to look at. Like, I can really start to dig deep. People are like, how do you have the time to do all of this? Because my autopilot has shifted over the years. I keep pushing the autopilot. I'm like, nope, we can't operate it that way anymore. And I've just come through another cycle of that. Like, I'm just coming out of this cycle of, well, that's it. That's the last time. And we don't operate that way anymore. So stop trying to shrink your body. Stop trying to minimize your space, and just take up the space, sis. Just do it already. This also transitions your focus from how you look performing an exercise to how you feel and actually perform the exercise. When I started strength training, there was a huge shift in just my approach to the gym. And I would say I still have a lot of my approach to the gym today is really rooted in this lesson of focusing on performance and feeling good and feeling strong and feeling healthy and feeling balanced when doing these exercises. It really changes how you prioritize going to the gym. The reason I make it to the gym regularly is because it's a priority, because I understand how it benefits my body. And to me, the benefits far outweigh the cons. And at this point, I understand that if I am not taking care of my body, I cannot take care of my mind or soul. And for those of you who've been here for a minute, you know Coach Des is all about the mind, body, soul alignment. For those of you who haven't been here and this is new to you, welcome. I don't just teach fitness because that's just the base level, but it's a great place for most people to start, most people. And then here's the thing, you guys. Let's get real, ladies. Everybody wants to feel sexy. I want to have a really honest conversation here about this, actually. Every one of us wants to feel sexy. Now, our definition of sexy can vary, right? That's very personalized. It can be very subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So what is sexy to one person may not be to another. However, we all have a definition of sexy. And one of my favorite things that I do with my new clients is when they don't have specific enough goals, I tell them to go through a magazine. And now this might seem backwards, but hang in there with me because I know we were just talking about not comparing ourselves and not focusing on how we look, but we can look at others very objectively, right? So instead of saying how do you want to feel? How do you want, sure, I ask those questions, but when they are really struggling, when I get very generic, I want to feel strong and healthy, then I'm like, okay, cool. How about this? Go through, I don't know, a magazine, or take some screenshots of your phone when you're scrolling, of women that you think are sexy, women that give you this energy of sexy, right? Now, I want you to show me the picture, because what that's going to tell me is how they stand, how they posture themselves, the amount of muscle on their body, the amount of fat on their body. There's a lot of things I'm going to see in the picture that are going to tell me what you envision your body looking like. The reality is that everyone really gets kind of the same programming in fitness, but if I can see that you want to put on a significant amount of muscle because of the pictures that you're sending me of these women, then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Then I can give you an appropriate program. But not being able to get specific with your wants and goals and desires for your body is actually a sign of dissociation. You just don't want to acknowledge what your hopes and dreams are because you don't want to be disappointed again. But if you just actually looked at them and held on to that, then it would help you stick to this routine that you're so dying to stick to, so that you can graduate to the next level and start looking at other things and working on other things. But you have to have space and you have to have time. And that's why committing to weight training, committing to strength training for women is such a gain. There's so much to gain there. I think no matter where you land in your journey, no matter what feels good to you, what feels best to you, I think every woman should go through a phase that they really seriously strength train and try to hit some strength PRs, because it changes your outlook completely on what you even perceive as sexy. And the sexy starts to come from within, because you just feel sexy, because you feel powerful, because you feel strong, because you feel good in your skin. Then you don't have to work on being sexy. Like being sexy is just being yourself. Congratulations. You woke up today. You're sexy, girl. You got it. Round of applause. Okay. So now we need to believe it. But at the same token, if you do something for your body, for yourself, to show and prove to yourself that you do love yourself, this is all about self-relationship. This has nothing to do with anybody else. Develop the relationship with self, but in order to do so, we have to have good habits in this space. Okay, cool. All right, next. Oh, Facebook. I forgot to mention, I don't think I can see your guys' comments because I'm multi-streaming. So I will come back and respond to comments. All right, last but not least, mindset shifts. And this is a big one because a lot of you guys are where I was in my own personal journey. I don't like to compare journeys on timelines because I don't think that we are on a timeline. I think we go through cycles. And so certain areas need more focus or less, depending on the seasons we go through, which is about to come up in the mindset shifts here. But the mindset shifts from the lessons that I learned from the gym are incomparable. Like, I don't think I could have learned a lot of these things anywhere else as well. Now, maybe after a few more times of failing and disappointing myself and all of these limiting beliefs, I may have finally got to this point, but I don't think I would have gotten here for sure by this time in my life. And so one of those things is shifting how I view lessons, period. I now view everything as a lesson, pretty much. Like, pretty much everything, even when it's hard, even when I'm processing the emotions of it, one of my constant narratives is, what is this teaching me right now? What am I learning from this? So one of the mindset shifts I experienced when I was really committed to strength training, when I'm very committed to strength training program, is, what can I learn from this? What did I do well? Whether or not I hit the PR, whether or not I succeed in the movement, or whatever it is we're trying to do, what did I do well? This is also why I love recording yourself in the gym, and why I urge my clients to submit form checks of themselves doing the workout, because it's so important for us to watch our bodies move and to see how powerful we are and witness it and not deny it. And you can't deny it when you watch it. You no longer get to deny yourself. I'm forcing you to love yourself. Coach's hack. Okay? We are going to love ourselves one way or another around here. That's what we do as glow getters. All right? So, what can I learn? What did I do well? What went well for me in this experience? And then on the other side, instead of saying, where did I fail? Where am I a disappointment? Where am I awful and terrible? Where is there room for growth? We have to change the language and the tone that we use with ourselves. Just like when you're trying to get your child to behave better and you're trying to calm yourself down, right? And you're trying to use your soft voice and you're like, ooh, okay, I want you to calm down, so I have to calm down. Same when you want yourself to, like, dude, stop freaking out about like your bicep not being as big as you might want it to be right now, because it's coming. As long as you keep consistent and stay committed to the process, it's coming. Then you can start looking at how you're performing the exercise. Then you can start focusing on how you feel when you're performing the exercise. Then you can start looking at all these other levels of self-awareness, but you have to get over these limiting beliefs first. So where is there room for growth? What can I improve on next time? Which again brings me back to form check videos, right? Let yourself witness yourself and just self-audit and stop judging yourself. Witness yourself and don't judge yourself. That is a practice in and of its own. I want you guys to start recording yourselves doing things, witness it, watch it, love it. The end. Another mindset shift from weight training is progress is not linear, and like really being able to apply that to my life and knowing that I go through seasons, right? We go through cycles. Progress is not linear, and there is no end post, you guys. The end post is death, okay? like we are just here in these physical bodies until we die. So I'm trying to make the life great. I'm trying to make the most out of the life part, right? So I need to honor that progress is not linear, and progress is dependent on what kind of season I'm in. If I'm in a season where I'm cutting, then strength training, as much as I love it, is going to be, the purpose of it is going to be different, right? The purpose of it is not going to be to hit PRs. Right now, I'm in a cut. I'm about a month in, so I'm starting to feel the strength decrease, or I just can't push myself as hard. Like I run out of gas earlier in the workout, and I can't push weights as hard as I would like to, as hard as I know I could if I was eating 300 more calories. But I'm in a season where for me, I want to see what progress I've made in the last year and some change of going from cut, maintenance, bulk, back to maintenance. Now I'm coming back to a cut, but it's been over a year. I took a really long season of bulking because I really wanted to work on these body image things we've been talking about. So knowing that progress is not linear, and that just because like my strength numbers drop next week, sure, it might be the cut in next week. It'll probably be because of my cycle, you know, like ladies, this is real. Syncing your training with your cycle is so real. You're not going to hit PRs around your cycle. It's just, we have the hormonal benefit of being women. It's fantastic. It is great, actually. No, I'm so glad I came as a woman this time. And like I said, the seasons change, and so can you. And you don't need anybody's approval to do it. That's what I think strength training has really taught me too. Like these unconscious thought patterns I was having. It really shifted for me when I realized I don't need anyone's approval to go into a bulk, to go into a cut, to sit at maintenance for a little while. The only person's approval I need is mine. And if that's what feels good for my body, that's what I'm going to do. And I don't need you to approve it, period. If you do, if you support me on my journey, welcome to the tribe, babe. Like, you know, cool. If not, then cool. But don't wish me ill will, because I would always send you on your journey with love. Seriously. All of my clients, even those who don't stick with me, like when they go on and find new coaches, I'm like, no, please, you don't need my approval. What you need to do is what's best for you. I don't believe in like cancel culture or like, you know, never speaking to that person again. I used to. Hey, shifting beliefs, right? Got to shift your mindset before you can shift your belief. And this is the thing that really we do have to confront some mindset shifts and some mindset barriers before we can get to the spiritual. Because our mind will keep us, she will keep you down as long as she can, because the brain is wired to keep you alive. The brain is wired for you to survive, not to thrive. Okay? So in order to thrive, That's that next level that you're feeling yourself reaching for. In order to thrive, we have to get to some of the spiritual, soulful things. And in order to get into those things, we definitely have to deal with the mind. The mind will not let you go there if she's not ready. Okay? It all just leads to self-awareness, you guys. And that's what leads to the non-linear, beautiful, wonderful, fan-fucking-tastic journey of evolution. That's what we're here to do, right? The glow up is just, it's just life. The glow up is life. Finding your glow up is just being like your best, most authentic self and showing up and letting people love you for that. And before I take us into like another hour-long rant, because that really just inspired me, I am gonna go record a podcast episode about it. And you guys can catch me on Spotify and stuff, and we'll talk about that soon. But thank you so much for joining me here on this wonderful Tuesday morning. I hope you guys have the best freaking Tuesday of your lives. And all right, we'll catch you on the flip